I love the festive season, but just like a lot of us, I get incredibly stressed. So let's combat that. The other day I was having a panic attack, which isn't like an unusual thing for me, but I realized just how out of control my stress and anxiety levels are getting this festive season. A lot of things are happening. My nana went into hospital, money's running out, money is gone, and I'm working throughout the holiday season as well. There's just a lot of things to do and I am stressing out. It got me thinking about how I could better manage my stress in order to have a more festive and jolly season. So I did some research, and this is the stuff I came up with to alleviate that stress. I think the first step, as in with everything, is to acknowledge how you're feeling and become aware of those feelings. The more you become aware of your feelings, the more likely you are to better understand and know how to manage them. So if you're unaware and totally oblivious, you're just going to be a stress head. Manage perfection. I'm a perfectionist, but what I needed to realize was that nothing is perfect. I was making these plans and I got very angry when they weren't followed through. And I tried to make everything perfect and like the typical jolly season, and because of that it added way more stress to my life. I think we need to manage our expectations. Not everything is perfect. Perfectionism doesn't really exist. So kind of figuring out what Christmas means to you is your best way forward. Ask yourself, what do you enjoy about the holidays, and do more of that, add more of that into your life. For me, what I enjoy most about the holidays is the fun aspect of it and like bringing people together. So that's what I'm going to try to do more of rather than stressing. Prioritize and slow down. It's really important to realize that we literally cannot do everything. We can't say yes to everything. We have to say no, and learning to say no is okay. It's all about prioritizing what is most important to you, and you'll be able to easily figure that out once you know what Christmas means to you. Saying no is the best way to avoid overwhelm because you're picking the things that bring you more joy, like Marie Kondo. Just choose wisely rather than just saying yes to everything because you feel like there's this expectation and pressure to do so. Have a game plan, but also be flexible in this game plan. I learned this lesson the hard way this week because I have planned out everything this week and things just do not go to plan. But having the plan made me feel much more better, more prepared, and more aware of the things we had to do. But just know that things won't always go to plan. For example, I did not plan my nana going to hospital, but it happened. I think an important thing to realize is that even if you've done a plan, everyone else is their own individual person. You can't predict what they're going to do. So you have to learn how to compromise, and that's probably one of the biggest things about Christmas is compromise. Christmas means compromising because it's not just about you, it's not just about your plan, it's about everyone. So have a game plan, write lists, start early, but also be flexible. Little breaks. I think these are really important because we get so stressed. Well, I mean, I do, and I can't be the only one. I get so stressed so easy, and I overwhelm myself because I've got things to do, and I have to do this, and then straight after that, I have to do that, and I jam-pack my schedule full. The important thing to do, or something to combat that, is to take little breaks. That just means relaxing, having 15 to 20 minutes, or maybe even 10 or 5, where you can just shut off completely. Leave your phone alone, don't even look at it, don't do anything, just relax. One thing that I've been enjoying doing lately is waking up a little bit earlier and going out and sitting on the deck with my coffee or my breakfast or just with myself and just relaxing. It's a really nice way to start the morning, kind of slows me down and sets me on the right foot. If you feel like an overwhelming moment is coming, take a break. If you're dealing with overwhelm, those things might help you. Healthy habits. In the festive season, we all like to throw out everything, not literally, but throw out all our habits that we've built so hard upon during the year. When I think about Christmas, I oftentimes think about food because that was a really big part of my family. It's all about indulgence and like just so much deliciousness, but it's also important to remember to nourish yourself. You have to maintain those habits that you've built over the year and look after yourself. For me, I literally threw out my healthy habits a couple months ago, so I'm trying to incorporate those back in. Exercise, eat nourishing foods, and just make sure my body is getting what it needs. Part of that is getting enough sleep, Because we're trying to cram so much in, oftentimes sleep is one of the things that gets sacrificed. It's important not to sacrifice it, because if you lose out on sleep, you're going to be even more stressed. When you're stressed already, sleep is always important. The last thing and really important thing to remember is teamwork. You're not alone. I, again, learned this lesson the hard way. I had my plan, but I did not communicate my plan effectively enough to Luke. So he had no idea what the plan was because I didn't communicate it. It's important to tell people what you want or what you need. You can always ask for help and you don't have to do things alone. I feel like there's a lot of people out there like that who feel like they just have the weight of the world on their shoulders. Just know that you can share that weight and you don't have to tackle everything. Communicating effectively is part of a good jolly season. So if you're feeling stressed out, make sure you communicate what you're needing and what you need help with, because I think everyone is willing to help, especially in the festive season. Generally, when I watch videos like this, I'm like, those are all cool, things that I can do, but I always feel very overwhelmed because I'm already stressed when I'm searching for a resolution. So the next part of this video is practical exercises you can do to alleviate stress and relax. Quick fire. Get aware of your senses. I like to do this a lot when I'm in the middle of a panic attack or coming down from a panic attack, and that's literally to go through my 5 senses and list something that I can touch, taste, feel, see, and hear. It's a great way of getting you out of the chaos of your mind and into the present moment. Sit in the sun and feel the sun on your skin. Again, another very tactile thing, but it's a really awesome way to bring you out of the chaos in your head and into the present moment and just slow down your brain. I find that when I'm getting anxious and overwhelmed, my brain is working overtime and really fast, and it gets very confusing. So the best way to kind of slow that down is just to sit in the sun, I always find. Time with pets. I don't think I need to explain that one. Go for a walk. Delegate tasks and ask for help. Start early. I know it's a bit late to do this one, but just remember for next year. Prioritize and say yes to the things that will add more joy into your festive season, and say no to the things that won't. Meditate, stretch or do yoga, slow breathing. Do something that you find relaxing and that you enjoy, that's sort of just for you. Like perhaps that's going to the beach, doing some drawing, maybe some baking. You'll know the thing that I'm talking about. Remember that Christmas is supposed to be a jolly and joyous season, and because there's often so many pressures that come with the festive season, we all get very stressed and very busy. The best way to combat this is to become aware of what's happening, and then you can kind of use the tools that I've given you in this video to make sure that you do have a jolly season and don't get so overwhelmed with the stress. I know that I need to remember these things when I'm getting stressed, because my stress levels right now are incredibly high, and it's making it less fun for everyone else this Christmas season. So I'm going to focus back on adding more joy into everyone's life and into my life and into the festive season, and kind of work on these things to tackle the stress that I'm feeling. If you have any stress tips for me, please leave them down below, because I know I can sure do with them, and I'm sure everyone else will appreciate them too. I'm sending you all the love and good vibes, and I'll talk to you very soon. Bye!